Welcome back yet again to this week of Olympus News. I'm Jeremy, and we've got a wide range of topics to cover today. So buckle up, ladies and gents. As usual, we'll be starting off with our COVID update, news on the SAT, and ending on some global news. This video will be available on our YouTube channel, Olympus, so don't forget to subscribe and follow our Instagram at Olympus_ID. With all that being said, let's get on the news.
Morning, welcome back to our weekly COVID update. As of 9th March, 26,336 new cases have risen. Unfortunately, 304 deaths come along with it. The total number of cases has increased to 5.8 million with 417,000 current active cases, 151,000 deaths, and 5.2 million recoveries. DKI Jakarta has again implemented a level 2 community activity restriction or PPKM, valid for 1 week, from 8 to 14 March 2022. Besides Jakarta, this rule level also applies in Bogor, Depok, Tangerang, and Bekasi. Previously, Jabodetabek has implemented PPKM level 3 due to a spike in COVID-19 cases due to the easily spread Omicron variant. Thanks to this, active cases and deaths have decreased, albeit still soaring high with some of the highest numbers in Asia. With all that said, we would not recommend going out much with the steadily increased cases to the virus. We wouldn't want you to be one of its victims. Please stay safe when outdoors and continue following COVID protocols. Now, onwards to the following news.
Hello, prospective SAT takers. Listen up, because the SAT is about to transition from the traditional pen and paper format to a more modern computer-based exam. How soon will the change be implemented, you ask? The change will be applicable in 2024, so those of you taking it this year wouldn't have much luck seeing this change. Those sitting for the SAT in 2 years, though, would face a few convenient changes, such as having shorter reading passages and adaptive test questions. Not only that, they will have a shortened exam length of 2 hours instead of the usual 3. Now, calculators are allowed for all the math sections, and instead of spending weeks in anxiety, your results will come out in mere days. The tests will be in schools and test centers under the supervision of proctors. Not to worry, no progress will be halted by sudden power outage, since its digital questions are randomized, such as sharing questions would be made impossible. Everything else would largely remain the same. For those of you wondering, the SAT is a standardized test. You take it if you're applying to the US. So if you're planning to go to America for university, take this into account. Thank you.
Hey guys, it's been quite hectic lately. The world is in utter havoc again and has fallen into chaos. Surprise, surprise, this week's news comes from who could have guessed? The US. In this first world country with third world problems, it seems that this week the legislature of Florida has prevented classroom instruction regarding sexual orientation and gender identity. Generation Z won't stay quiet on the Don't Say Gay bill, and even Disney CEO say that he will meet with Ron DeSantis himself to resist the bill. The controversial bill approved by Washington CNN lawmakers banned instructions about sexual orientation and gender identity in the classroom. The Republican Governor Ron DeSantis then agreed, and a 22-17 voting, the Republican Party passed the bill and titled it Parental Rights in Education. The State House later on gave its approval. However, conservative families argued that they should have greater oversight over what the children learn at school, and that LGBTQ, a controversial topic, should be discussed at home. DeSantis defended his action by stating that this is for the protection of the young kids, as the topic is not age appropriate. Several allies have argued that banning classroom instruction would negatively impact the LGBTQ community. They've proved their points by using data showing lower rates of LGBTQ youth attempting to commit suicide after having access to the LGBTQ affirming spaces. It got to the point where members of Generation Z would lead school walkouts and large demonstrations. Will Larkins, a teenager who organized a massive protest at his school, stated, "We wanted to show our government that this isn't going to stop," and it still hasn't. So stay tuned to see when it will. In the meantime, onto the upcoming news.
Well folks, that's it for the 6th update. I know it's been quite the week for everyone with many exams fast approaching like the GCSEs and the continuation of the Ukraine-Russia conflict. However, with that said, thank goodness that our term break will be starting next week. Take a few days to kick back and relax. Lastly, don't forget to check out our YouTube channel along with our Instagram at Olympus_ID. Have a good rest of your day, stay safe and enjoy the term break. We'll see you next time.